Hi, this is Paranormal Girl. Enochian, the mysterious lost language of angels. Enochian is a mysterious language that a 16th century occultist John Dee and Edward Kelly recorded in their private journals. They claimed this celestial speech allowed magicians and occultists to communicate with angelic realms. In the year 1581, occultists John Dee and Edward Kelly claimed to have received communications from angels, who provided them with the foundations of a language with which to communicate with the other side. This angelic language contained in its own alphabet, grammar, and syntax, which they wrote down in journals. The new language was called Enochian and comes from John Dee's assertion that the biblical patriarch Enoch had been the last human to know the language. John Dee, the influential occultist. Dr. John Dee of 1527 to 1609 was an occultist, mathematician, astronomer, and an astrologer who lived in Mortlake, West London, for most of his life. An educated man who studied at St. John's College in Cambridge, was eventually accepted into influential circles of the ruling elite and acted as scientific advisor and confidant to Queen Elizabeth I. He is associated with coining the phrase British Empire. During the early part of his life, Dee had little interest in the supernatural. Later on, he became disillusioned with science and began experimenting with the magic and the occult. Dee was looking to discover lost spiritual knowledge and recover the wisdom he believed was hidden in the books of antiquity. Among these books was then fabled Book of Enoch, which he conceived as being a book describing the magic system used by the patriarch in the Bible. The Enochian language of the angels. The term Enochian comes from the biblical figure Enoch, who was the source of hidden mystical knowledge and was taken up to heaven. According to Genesis 5:24, he walked with God, and the Hebrews 11:5 states that he had taken from his life so that he did not experience death. From 1581 to 1585, Dee began performing a long series of magical events. In 1581, at the age of 54, Dee wrote in his personal journal that God had sent good angels to communicate directly with mankind. By 1582, he was collaborating with the fellow occultist and seer Edward Kelly, who lived in 1555 to 1597, to communicate with these angels. Hundreds of spirit conversations were recorded, including what they claimed was an angelic language called Enochian, composed of non-English letters. The Enochian alphabet was revealed by Dr. John Dee and Edward Kelly during scrying sessions, when various texts and tables were received from angels. Scrying is a technique used by seers, physics, and sorcerers to foretell the future and involve gazing into a reflective surface to receive messages. Magical objects and celestial speech. It's documented that Dee and Kelly used certain objects such as a black obsidian mirror and a crystal bowl to experience these visions. Dee acted as an orator, directing prayers to God and the archangels for 15 minutes to an hour. Then a scrying stone was placed on a table and the angels were called to manifest themselves. Dee and Kelly would watch the stone and record everything they saw and heard. They were told by the angels that the magic would give superhuman powers to the practitioners, change the political structure of Europe, and herald the coming of the apocalypse. Dee believed what they were doing would be of benefit to posterity and documented the information into a series of manuscripts and workbooks. He never described the language used during the sessions as Enochian, but preferred to call it angelical and celestial speech, the first language of God Christ, and particularly the Adamical, because he asserted it was used by Adam in the Garden of Eden to name all of God's creatures. Here is a picture of the obsidian mirror that he used, which is now housed in the British Museum. Here's another one here, John Dee's Seal of God. The Enochian Alphabet. There are two different versions of the Enochian Alphabet, with one script slightly different from the other. The first version is found in Dee's manuscript, the first 5 Book of the Mysteries, and the second and generally more accepted version is in Liber Logaeth, the latter being Kelly's original drawings. The script is written from right to left and may include accents. The Enochian letters have English letter equivalents, with some of the letter names pronounced as they would be in English, but many are pronounced differently. The alphabet is used in the practice of Enochian magic on angelical or Enochian keys. They were received through Edward Kelly in 1584 in Krakow, Poland. That year he wrote into his diaries a series of 19 magical incantations. The keys comprise 48 poetic verses and correspond to various functions within the Enochian magic system. They are given in the original Enochian language and a modern English translation based on John Dee's Old English version. And here they are, the actual letters, the Enochian letters that they used. Looks quite occultist, doesn't it? Interpretation. Due to the loss of parts of John Dee's original manuscripts, interpretations have arisen regarding the meaning, validity and authenticity behind the Enochian language. Some magicians have asserted it's the oldest language in the world, predating all other human language. In some circles, it's considered among the most powerful strains of magic and is a method of contacting intelligences from other dimensions. Detractors have pointed out that the syntax of the Enochian bears a strong resemblance to English, Dee and Kelly's natural language. Such similarities include the word Lucifetius, a term meaning brightness, which bears the connection to Lucifer, whose name means light bringer. Londo, the Enochian word for kingdom, might just represent Dee's connection to his royal patron, the Queen of England. Computer analysis has also shown Enochian to have a grammatical relationship to English. Text in the Liber Logaeth demonstrate phonetic features that do not appear in natural languages. The phonetic features associated with the glossolalia or speaking in tongues. Modern-day occultists have found it difficult to reconstruct the Enochian system, although progress is made by studying the original manuscript found in Sir Hans Sloane collection. From these studies, various groups and authors have created a functional system of magic. The Enochian language was picked up and popularized by occultists such as Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Aleister Crowley, Israel Regardie, and Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan. Many Satanists have included Enochian keys in their rituals, some adopting the entire language for use. The Enochian language was also studied by U.S. rocket scientist Jack Parson in the OTO in 1994. The Enochian letters were used as glyphs to operate the Archangel in the film Stargate. 1 year before the U.S. remote viewing program Stargate was made public. Another aspect of the modern Enochian magic is Enochian chess. It's both a game and a divination tool, derived from the original tablets of John Dee. It's a complex system that requires strong foundation in the study of the Kabbalah, geomancy, tarot, alchemy, and astrology. Many of the original items used by Dee and Kelly can be found in the British Museum in London, England. So what's your thoughts on the Enochian language of angels? Do you think they were actually contacting the angels? Or do you actually believe that they were contacting something else? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for listening.